Good morning one and all. I welcome you all for my video lecture on the topic control flow, functions and strings in Python. I am N. Jagadishwari, Assistant Professor of CSC Department, Thandai Periyar Government Institute of Technology, Vellore. The topics covered in Unit 3 are decision making statements, looping constructs, functions and strings. What are all decision making statements? Based on certain conditions, it will select the corresponding branch of execution. So these type of statements are called as decision making statements. So Python supports the following decision making statements. The first one is if statement, if else statement. The third one is if else statement or chained conditionals and nested if statement. In if statement, we can specify only one condition. If it is true, the corresponding statement will be getting executed, or otherwise it will go to the next statement. In if else statement, first we will check for the expression. If it is true, the corresponding true block statement is executed. If the condition becomes false, then false block statement is getting executed. So this is used to give either or selection. And in the case of if else statement, we can specify as many number of conditions. If the first condition is true, first statement block is executed. If second one is true, second block is executed. Then third condition is true, third statement block is executed. So we can check as many number of conditions as we can. And the fourth one is nested if statement. So nesting of if statement is nothing but embedding one if statement inside another if statement is nested if statement. Then rules for writing conditional statements. The first condition is colon is required at the end of a condition. Second condition, body of the statement indicated by indentation. In Python, 4 spaces used for indentation. Python interprets non-zero values, that is positive values, as true, and none and zero are interpreted as false. First we will see if statement. This is the syntax for if statement. So if is the keyword followed by space followed by expression. This is the conditional expression. At the end of conditional expression, one colon is given. If this expression is true, the statement to be executed is given after the expression, that is preceded by the indentation. Here is the flow diagram for if condition. So here the condition is checked in the decision box. If this condition is true, this conditional code is executed. If this condition is false, it will directly come and execute the next statement of the program. We will see an example here. First, we are using one variable and assigning the value equal to 10. If variable 1 can have the value, is having the value 10. So if 10, so 10 is a positive value, so it will return true. So since the value is true, these two statements are executed. So it will print true expression value and it will print the variable 1 also and variable 2. Good morning everyone. I welcome you all for my video lecture on the topic control flow, functions and strings in Python. I am N. Jagadishwari, Assistant Professor of CSC Department, Thandai Periyar Government Institute of Technology, Vellore. And the topic covered in Unit 3 are decision making statements, looping constructs, functions and strings. First of all, what are all decision making statements? So based on certain conditions, the corresponding branch to be executed is being selected. So these type of statements are called as decision making statements. Python supports the following conditional statements. The first one is if statement, second one is if else statement, third one is if else statement or chained conditional, and fourth one is nested if statement. Next, rules for writing conditional statements. Colon is required at the end of the condition. If you are writing any statement if or if else or if the colon must be present after the condition. body of the statement indicated by indentation. So in Python, we require 4 spaces used for indentation, and Python interprets non-zero value as true and none and 0 as interpreted as false. First, we are going to see if statement. This is a simple decision making statement. This is the syntax for if statement and this is the flow diagram. So first in syntax, the keyword if must be present, followed by space, followed by the conditional expression is given, followed by colon. The statement being executed is always preceded with the help of an indentation, that is 4 white spaces. This is the flow chart. Here in the decision box, the condition is being checked. If the condition is true, the conditional code is being executed and it will go to the next statement execution. If this condition is false, it will directly go to the next statement of execution. Now we will see one example for simple if statement. Here one variable 1 is assigned to a value 10. We are checking the value of variable 1. That is, if it is a positive value, we have to print the expression. If variable 1, so variable 1 value is 10, which is nothing but a positive value. So if statement will return true. If the statement returns true, the true block statements will be executed. So print true value expression. So in the output you can see true value expression and followed by print the value of variable 1 is printed. So 10 is the value of variable 1 and it is printed. Next example, here one more variable is given, variable 2 is equal to 0. We are assigning variable 2 is equal to 0. If variable 2, so the value of variable 2 is 0. If it is 0, it will return a false value. Then these 2 blocks, these are the true block statements. Only when if this if statement returns true, these 2 will be executed, or otherwise these 2 statements will be ignored by the interpreter. If here the value of this variable is 0, so it is a false value. So these 2 statements are ignored. It will directly come to the next statement and it is printing goodbye. So the output you see here, goodbye is printed here. Next we will see if-else statement. So this is used to check alternate option. If the expression is true, what is going to be executed? If the expression is false, what is going to be executed? So we have to specify 2 statements of execution. So this is the syntax. If is the keyword and else is also the keyword. So if followed by space, followed by the conditional expression is given, followed by colon. Next, the true statements to be executed if this expression returns the value true is given after the if expression and it is preceded by the 4 white spaces. Next we have to specify else. This else is given the statements after to be executed if when this expression becomes false is given after this else statement. This is the flow diagram. If condition, if this condition is true, the if code statement is being executed and it will come to the next statement. If this condition is false, the else code statement is executed and it will come to the next statement. This is the example for if-else statement. First, I am getting input for year equal to input of enter year. Next, if year mod 4 equal to 0, that means year, for example, in this output, in the first execution, I am entering year equal to 2000. Then year can take the value 2000. If 2000 mod 4 is equal to 0, this will return the value true. Hence, this true block is executed. Print leap year. Hence, leap year is executed. In the next iteration, I am entering the year as 1981. So 1981 is not a leap year. So if 1981 mod 4 is equal to 0, this is not equal to 0. Hence, this statement will return a false value. Hence, this statement is ignored and the statement else is being executed. So in the else block, it is printing not a leap year. So not a leap year has been printed. Next statement, if, elif, else statement. So if we want to check multiple conditions, we have to go for if, elif and else statement. If first expression 1 is checked, if it is true, this statement 1 or statements is being executed. If this is false, it will go to the next statement, elif. Here expression 2 is checked. If this is true, then statement 2 is executed. If this is false, it will go to the next elif statement, expression 3. If this is true, statement 3 is executed. If this is false, it will go to the next statement. So that is the else statement, and so and statement 4 is executed. So we can add as many conditions as we can, and so based on that the number of statement blocks is getting executed. For example, if expression 1, here condition enters here, if expression 1 is true, statement 1 is executed, it will go for the next statement. If it is false, it will go to expression 2. If this is true, statement 2 is executed. If this is false, it will go and check expression 3, that is condition 3. If condition 3 is true, this statement 3 is executed. If condition 3 is false, statement 4 is executed. That is the last statement which is available after the else is being executed, and after execution of all the statements, it will come to the next statement of execution. So this is if, elif, else statement. So this is the example. First I am getting the x value. Please enter an integer. So I am entering 42. If x is less than 0, then if it is a negative value, then we have to assign x equal to 0. Here I have entered only a positive value 42, so which is not a negative value. So this statement has been skipped. Then it will go to the next statement and compares x is equal to 0 and x equal to 42, it is not equal to 0. So this statement is also omitted. Next it will go elif x equal to 1. No, x equal to 42, it is not equal to 1. Then print single, this statement is also ignored. Finally, it will go to the last one and print more. So more will be printed here. And the next iteration, please enter an integer. I have entered 0. So once again, the x value is equal to 0. X is not less than 0. So these two statements are ignored, and it will come to the next statement, x equal to 0. Yes, x is equal to 0. So it will print 0 as the statement. The next is nested if statements. So nesting in the sense we are placing one if statement or one if elif else statement within some other if statement. So that you call it as nested if statement. For example, if expression 1, if this is true, if it will go and check if expression 2 is correct. If this is correct, this statement 1 is executed. If this is false, it will go and check expression 3. If this is true, the statement 2 is executed. If expression 3 returns false, it will go and print the else statement. For example, if expression 1 itself is not true, it will directly come and check expression 4. In expression 4, if this is correct, statement 4 will be executed. If expression 4 is false, it will come to the else block and this statement is being executed. The same is explained in this flow diagram also. If expression 1 is true, it will go and check expression 2. If this is true, statement 1 is executed. If this is false, expression 3 is computed, and if expression 3 is true, statement 2 is executed. If this is false, statement 3 is executed. For example, if first expression itself becomes false, it will go and check expression 4. If this is true, statement 4 is executed and come to the next statement. If this is false, statement 5 is executed and come to the next statement being executed. So this is the flow diagram of nested if statement.